In this video, I'm talking you through exactly what conscious connected breathing actually is and what it does. Now, I first found out about conscious connected breathing because I've been seeing it pop up all over social media and I didn't fully understand what it was. I knew that I was at a point in my life where I wanted to feel as though I trusted myself again after feeling like I'd made lots of mistakes and ignored my intuition. So my interest in this field started because I felt like I wanted, I guess, a level of spiritual connection and to gain self-trust. And I thought at that time that the conscious part was all about having greater and improved consciousness. However, what I came to understand is that actually what the conscious part means is that conscious thinking, the intentional thinking about breathing. And effectively, that's what conscious breathing means. It means we're taking control rather than letting the breathing be that sort of automatic, unconscious thing that's happening 20,000 times a day. Because that is one of the most amazing things about breath, is that we have the ability as human beings to interrupt those patterns and change them for our own benefit. So that's the conscious part. The conscious part is about putting attention on the breath. The second then is about the connected part of breathing in conscious connected breathing. And what this means is that instead of having a hold or a pause either before the inhale or either, this means instead of having a, and what this connected part means is that instead of having a hold after the inhale, like that, or a hold after the exhale, like that, what we're doing is we're just keeping the breath moving one after the other, like a wave or like a circle, connected. So we've got the inhale goes straight into the exhale, the exhale goes straight into the inhale, and so on and so forth. You keep going with no interruptions. Now, often the conscious connected breathing is associated with those long breathwork journeys that you may well have seen, where there's a lot of trauma release happening. Maybe people are having quite profound experiences, or maybe they're just using it as a factory reset for their body. There's all sorts of biochemical changes that are happening because we are keeping that breath connected. And often we're using a conscious connected breathing method to go into a different brainwave state, to have an altered state of consciousness, if you like, so that we can have those profound moments of inner wisdom. We can have a greater feeling of connection with ourselves. And also we can become much more in touch with some of the storage in our body of traumatic memory and be able to release that, because we're in a very different state where our conscious brain is the critical thinking brain has effectively wandered off for a while we're doing this deep processing work. Often conscious connected breathing is done with an open mouth. And the reason for this, and it's quite different to a lot of the breathing exercises that you'll come across on this channel or on many other breathwork channels, is that we are going to breathe through the mouth rather than the nose. Now, generally speaking, in breathwork, we're trying to encourage you to use the nose to breathe, because then you've got all sorts of levels of filtration happening and nitric oxide is being released, which is kind of like the magic dust of your body. But we're not going to talk about that in more detail today. You'll have to check out the episode coming soon on that. And basically, by breathing through the nose, you are generally activating a slower breath, a deeper breath in your body. You're more likely to be breathing from your abdomen. And then you're accessing that parasympathetic state for rest and digest functions. You're much more peaceful. But when we are breathing through our mouth, generally what's happening is it's telling our body that we're stressed and we should do more stress. And ordinarily in your life, many of you are breathing this way without even realizing. And you perhaps need to check out lots of the videos on functional breathing that we've got in this channel. But when we are doing it with a conscious connected breathing, we're deliberately using a mouth breath. It's because we're looking for that factory reset. We're having a biochemical change in our body, a little bit like when you work hard at the gym, You wouldn't put your body under that amount of stress all of the time, but stretching your ability a little bit, stretching those muscles a little bit, you know is actually good for you, because your body can then learn to tolerate more stress. And it's a little bit like that. So through conscious connected breathing, not only are we allowing our body to experience a positive stress that we have intentionally put on it for our own benefit, but we're also then having these deep releases, these deep intuitive moments that really drop in. And I know so many people who have started as a bit resistant to this work. It looks a bit funny, it can feel a bit funny. They think it's not for them, it's for other people who are maybe a little bit more woo, a little bit more out there. But they find that this breathing technique allows them to drop into their body in a way that they maybe never have before. It allows them to notice that intuitive wisdom, to notice what we call felt sense, and the intelligence, that a knowledge that they hold within themselves. So again, the reason I came into this breathing space was because I wanted more connection to myself, more self-trust, but also connection to a higher power or a higher version of myself that's always looking out for me, that potentially I'd been ignoring those messages. Conscious connected breathing is so powerful. There are some risks involved with it because of various contraindications that come along with putting a deliberate stress on the body. I'm going to go into that in another episode. But if you're curious about this, we are actually releasing on this channel all sorts of conscious connected breathing breathwork journeys that you'll be able to find in a playlist on this channel right now, or if you're watching just as this is released, very soon. So if you want to check some of those out, you can choose whether you want to do one that is for confidence, for dealing with an aspect of healing, whether you want to do a breathe that is related to relationships, because you're holding all of these things inside your body, and through the breath you can let it out. So that in effect is what conscious connected breathing is all about, and I would love you to try it if you haven't already. If you found this episode interesting or intriguing, I would love you to subscribe and come back and watch another one of our videos very soon.